Hi everybody, this is the first Q&A session that we've had for our therapy members membership group. So those of you that had some questions that you wanted to ask me specifically about your business, you have either posted them on the Facebook page or you've sent them in an email directly to me. So what I'd like to is to just go through those questions and just give you the answers that you're asking for on what I have found to be successful and what proves very easy to obtain as well. It's funny because you're all in different avenues, or there's many different avenues of business that you're all operating from, but really there's a similarity, there's a common theme. You're all wanting to know the answers to the same questions. So really it just goes to show that whatever line of business that you're in, if you're looking at taking it online and learning either as a passive income or how to reach a wider audience, it doesn't matter what business you're in, the answers can pretty much be applicable to everybody. Okay, so this is obviously recorded. It's Tuesday, the 15th of March 2016, and as I say, this is our first Q&A session that we've done. So I'm going to go through the questions that everybody has asked me, and even if you haven't posted a question to me, it's really good to listen to this recording because the answers that I give, I'm sure, are going to be very relevant to your business as well. We have our first live webinar, which is tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 16th of March. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these questions with you today and answer those for you, but I'm going to elaborate on some of the questions tomorrow because you all need to start with me from a certain footing to gain the expertise for your business in making that bigger and bringing it online and getting it to a wider audience. Okay, so hopefully we keep having bits of very bright sunshine coming in. I've lifted my glasses onto my head so that you don't see the reflection from the computer. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to read all your questions here without them. But I'm sure we'll absolutely be fine. Okay. So first of all, Mandy Vages has asked me, you would like to find out, Mandy, the best and easiest way to build a mailing list of potential clients, especially collecting email addresses from people who like your Facebook page. Now, that's an incredible question. The reason I asked you, particularly Mandy, to email that to me is I saw sight of a post that you put into our membership group where you were actually going to contact each person individually that liked your Facebook page and ask for their email address. First of all, there's two no-nos for that really. One is that it might go into the person's other folder or message request system rather than come up as a message for them if they're not already your friend. And if you start directly approaching people for their email addresses, quite often that can start to annoy them. So the last thing you want to do is to actually move somebody away from your Facebook page. You want to encourage people to stay on that so that they see your posts, obviously. Now, in a way, Mandy, I'm going to kind of leave that for tomorrow because we are going to be looking at certain things, and one of the prime things that I'm going to be talking about to you tomorrow is how to get and start building up your mailing list, because the better the mailing list that you have is, the wider the audience is that you can get, and the more revenue that you can create and get from those people. So it's imperative that when you are still building your business, whether you're at the beginning, the middle, or the end, that you are generating that mailing list. So it's very important, and that's one of the first steps that you're going to do and know how to do that. But I want to go into it with you tomorrow on the live webinar, so hopefully that's okay. Justin, you wish to offer online help courses for people with addiction problems. Would you say video courses are the way to go here? I record myself talking people through the steps. You've got a fair amount of text already typed up. Absolutely, Justin. I mean, there are websites that once you have something like an 80% video content to your online courses, you can start to sell that course on there. But you have to have about an 80% content for video courses. So if I were you, if you've already got a fair amount, excuse me, excuse me. If you've already got a fair amount of text, what I would do is I would start to create the video content for your courses. Now, one of the big suppliers for online courses that does require a high content of video is Udemy. So that's U-D-E-M-Y. Excuse me, isn't that typical that once I'm recording this video, I'm starting to get a cough. Yes, so I would say start your video course already. However, don't discount online courses that do not have video content. I have sold a large amount of online courses with very, very little video content. That's something that I am presently working on, that I will be creating courses with video content, but don't discount just a general online course where you could have perhaps some visualizations in there, so an audio content, but where just basically from being a Word document or a PDF that somebody can buy your course on helping them with addictions, and there's no video content yet, because you're going to be able to get that up and running much quicker than you can with your video content. Okay, so if you've got a large amount of text, you're probably at the point where you could sell an online course to help people with their addictions. So I would go with the general online course first of all, and then start to work on your video content that will enable you to reach these other websites that will take your content on. Again, I'm going to be talking more as the months go on about which websites that you can approach, and how I have made a lot of money from selling on these websites. Justin's also asking, should you focus on getting your addiction program to print before reaching out to a wider audience? The main aim, obviously, is you've come on this membership and you want to reach out to a wide audience. There's nothing to stop you doing that. But if you're reaching out to a wider audience, that wider audience are going to want something from you. So if you're talking in terms of an online program, then yes, get it to print, get it done as a PDF, so that you can start to sell that to the wider audience. So I would definitely say that. Justin's also asking, you're looking to fill your week working with clients either face-to-face or through Skype. You've done local advertising recently, which will hopefully draw in my clients for face-to-face. How would you recommend reaching a wider audience for Skype meetings? When I come to talk to you about Facebook ads, this is where you're really going to start to look at reaching a wide audience. I think I said in the welcome webinar that I did, which was advertising this membership, that there are something like 7 billion people on the planet, 2 billion of those have Facebook accounts. So nearly a quarter of the population have a Facebook account. So you're looking at primarily, must be the focus of your social media interaction. So I'm going to be teaching you all in a step-by-step way how to create Facebook ads, how to reach that proper audience. But before you start to do that, you need to have your Facebook page up and running. It needs to have certain things coming into it, and you need to have your website up and running. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of money on Facebook advertising. Local advertising is, fine. You will only find out from yourself how successful that is. But really, the world is going towards online courses, video courses, Skype, FaceTime so that you can reach that huge audience. You know, it's not going to limit yourself geographically. Okay. So Sharon is asking me, how did I advertise my hypnotherapy business and keep the cost of advertising low? Okay, so when I was a hypnotherapist, it was only really within the first 6 months of having my own hypnotherapy program that I started to pay for advertising. After that, I didn't. I may have said before, when you were doing my hypnotherapy course, Sharon, that I actually asked within for those clients to come to me. So when I'm connecting with my real self, I'm asking my real self, my soul, however you want to really word that, to bring those clients to me, because if this is the work that I'm meant to be doing, I need to have the revenue and I need to be able to get to those people to help them. So only really for the first 6 months, and that was probably a lack of confidence, did I then spend money on advertising. Certainly I found at that point, you know, you're going back 10, 12 years, that for me at that point, local advertising did work, but it probably only worked for 6 months. And then I would start to look, you know, at different ways. But the main way that I got clients would be that I would just ask for them and they would just come. Sounds simple, but it worked. Sharon's also asking, what's your advice on getting your website found on Google? The first and most effective thing that you're going to have to do is to create a WordPress blog. Now, I had a quick look at your website just earlier, Sharon, and if it's a WordPress website, then go to the person that created your website and get them to build in a blog page. It's very, very easily done. If it's not WordPress, then you can just go to wordpress.com and create your own blog. But you need to be blogging 2 or 3 times a week. There's certain search words that you are going to put into that blog, and very, very quickly, by that way, you can get your website up to the top of Google. Because Facebook also is a huge advertising forum, it picks up on lots of changes on your Facebook page very, very quickly. Then it's always picked up by the search engines, and that includes Google. So often changing content, we're going to look at all of that in the live webinar. Then that's going to enable you to be picked up by Google. But I would definitely recommend a WordPress blog, and that will sure enough get you to the first page of Google. People tend to stop searching for things once they've got to page 3 of Google. So you need to be consistently blogging about subjects on hypnosis, how it can help, what areas that you can help in, geographically areas, etc., etc. All of those keywords in the search, your webmaster will help you with that. And that's the best and quickest way to get your website up to the first page of Google. Sharon's also asking, do you think that having leaflets printed and distributed to hair and beauty salons would be a good idea or not? I was thinking it might not be cost effective. No. in a word, no. Leaflet printing, it's old hat now. You can target people that do go to hairdressers. You can target people, you know, in Glasgow, you know, that like certain pages. So the old way of advertising with brochures, getting things printed, it's going to cost you a lot of money. And from my own personal opinion, I would say it's not cost effective. Yeah, but like with anything, feel free to try it out. Sharon's asking, should I use Facebook to advertise across Britain? And as I was thinking, it would be good for giving sessions using Skype. Absolutely. But you need to make sure that you are putting the right key things into your Facebook ads. Your next question, Sharon, was that you sent out a Facebook advert at £4 a day for 1 week this morning. That was the other day, as this was your first time using a Facebook advert. It's good to play around. It's £4 a day, so it's only going to cost you £28 for the week. Again, I had a quick look on your Facebook page, and I think you've got about 60 people that like that. Facebook page. So it's whether you're advertising to the people that already like it or whether you're trying to bring in new people to like that page. You've got to be very, very careful when it comes to Facebook advertising, because you can lose a lot of money without any return, which is why I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process of how to do it. Sharon's also asking, I thought I would do a special offer advert on Facebook once a month, changing the offer each time, one for stop smoking, one for weight loss, and work through the rest. See what's the most popular and what brings in the clients. Yeah, you can absolutely do that, but you need to expand on the 60 people that you've got on your Facebook page already. So when I go through the Facebook training, you'll be bringing new people in that are going to be interested in hypnotherapy in Glasgow, and then you can certainly advertise those offers to them. Jim is asking me, he wanted some advice about setting yourself up as a sole trader, whether to register at Companies House to protect the name, joining other hypnosis bodies, is it worth it, which ones to get listed on, how to get PR coverage. He's got a domain name and setting up a fresh Facebook page, but should you set up a website page first? Okay. So let's go through those questions then, Jim. First of all, you're asking about setting up as a sole trader. I would definitely, if you're in the first stages of setting up your hypnotherapy practice, set it up as a sole trader. There's no need to go through the legalities of setting up a limited company. For over 10 years, I operated as a sole trader. It's only when I introduced or brought in the Q Training Academy that became a limited company. So a limited company has to have 2 directors. There's lots more tax involved with that. Depends on your accountant and how much they work for you. But the tax implications are different. You've got to look at PAYE with a limited company. Also, if your turnover is over 80k a year, which let's hope it's going to be by the end of, having a year on the membership or however long that's going to take you, then you're going to be paying VAT as well. So I would say to start off with, set up definitely as a sole trader. So that can just be, it can be your, you can choose a company name, like Hypnotherapy International, but it's just you trading as that name, but you're still a sole trader. Or you can just have it as, I always had my domain name as KarenEwells.co.uk, so that worked for me for a long time. And it was only when my revenue started to increase a lot that we brought the Q Training Academy into a limited company. I would not recommend joining any hypnosis bodies. The governing bodies, there's no legal requirements when it comes to, hypnotherapy, which means that basically anybody can set up a governing body for hypnosis. I could do it myself if I had the time, and I could charge you X amount of money to come on my website and say that you are an accredited person through my hypnotherapy governing body. For those of you that have been on my hypnotherapy course, you'll know that I'm not one for I'm definitely not one for saying join a hypnotherapy governing body. It's not a legal requirement. The only thing that you need to have legally is a public liability insurance. You don't need to be part of any governing body, and I never was in the whole time that I actually ran my own hypnotherapy business as a personal practice. I only joined the Hypnotherapy Association to get my course on hypnotherapy accredited. So that now is listed with them, but for 10, 12 years before that, I didn't bother, just purely because it was a waste in money for nothing. So the only thing that I paid for was my public liability insurance, and that's the only legal thing that you need. So I personally would not recommend that. You've got your domain name, and if that's something you're happy with, yes, then you need to get on really with your with your website. In the webinar tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the basics that you need on your website. And even though you guys, most of you have your website. There's something fundamental that you're missing on that. And this is what you need to move forward in your business that's going to link in with your Facebook advertising. So you need to either be on the live webinar or listen to the recording. Yeah, you also need a fresh Facebook page. But again, I'm going to go through all of that with you. Okay. So Sophia asked me, would I recommend YouTube as a valid way of advertising and driving people towards a website? Yes, YouTube, particularly for your line of work, Sophia. I'm definitely going to recommend to you that you do online videos, and I think you're of that mind anyway. So those online videos are going to have to be stored somewhere. So YouTube is a great place to do that, but you can do free, you know, samples of your courses, you know, 5 minutes of, you know, a certain thing happening in your painting class or setting up something, and then you can put that certainly on YouTube. When you list it on YouTube, you'll need to have it as a list it as public so anybody can find it. And when you list what it is, so if you say example of a painting class with Sophia Flowers, make sure that you put your domain name in the top there, along with the listing of what it actually is, so people will see your domain name and come over to your website. You can also do something called monetize YouTube videos as well, which means that you can allow adverts onto your YouTube videos and you gain money from doing that. So yes, that's absolutely a valid way of advertising and may drive people towards your website. But again, I'm coming back to Facebook. It's the biggest social media platform, so you really want to look at that. Sophia's also asked as well, you have an awareness of the rough workings of Facebook, and of course there's many other pages such as Instagram, Pinterest, etc. Would you recommend mastering one of these or having some sort of platform to operate the lot? For you, in your line of work, because you're doing painting classes, Facebook, and keep going to go Facebook for everybody, but it is the most used social media platform. I would definitely recommend for you Instagram, possibly Pinterest as well. I'm going to talk about how you're going to do your posts to schedule them all on different social media platforms, because there is many different pieces, but I've gone through just about every single piece of software that allows you to post on different social media platforms. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you about as well. So you can schedule those posts in, and you're only using one piece of software, and it saves you spending all day posting. You're going to be able to do it all at the same time and schedule those posts throughout the day on different social media platforms. Excuse me. So I would recommend definitely Instagram for you, Sophia, and Facebook. Alex, you've spoken to me about marketing your book, which is an incredibly exciting phase. I would definitely get a Facebook page up and running. I'm not sure whether you've done that already. We have spoken in the past about that, but that's certainly something you need to move forward with so that you can then start to bring people in and promote that through Facebook. That's also going to work for the other business idea that you spoke to me about as well. Okay, so that brings together today's Q&A. As I say, a lot of you are working in different fields, but actually many of the questions are the same and many of the answers are the same. So we're going to go tomorrow with a live webinar at 10:30, which is UK time, where we're going to be looking at building the foundations. We really need to work through this process by process, and that's the only way that you're really going to master things and build up your business. So it is a step-by-step process. Hopefully I've answered your questions, and if there's anything that you want clarifying, by all means post on the Facebook wall or drop me an email, and I look forward to speaking to you and having you on the webinar tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.